Hey everybody, we're back with part two. So if you follow me with part one, you should have some work made up. It may be bigger than this, it may be smaller than this. Just depending on if you got the drift a little earlier, or if you wanted just to keep going to create another project. Now this stitch is really addicting. You can just keep going and you can increase how wide you want your pattern to be. And then when you begin to decrease, it'll become your square. So it just basically depends on how wide you want your piece to be. Now, there's different patterns out there, like I said before, that you can work on and you can create some different things. And I may even do a tutorial on one if you guys are interested. But on this part two, we're going to work on changing colors. Now, if you're doing multiple patterns, there's going to be times where the pattern is going to insist that you need to change colors in the beginning or at end of a stitch. You may have to do so in the end, right in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and begin to do that. I'm going to start this row just as though any other row. And I'm going to begin to show you how to change colors mid-row as well as in the beginning. So let's go ahead and chain our 5 just like we were doing in the beginning of this tutorial, part 1. So we're doing a chain of 5. And again, we know what to do. We're just going to double crochet in that 3rd chain as well as the 4th and as well as the 5th. Sorry guys, I'm having some trouble. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to double crochet right in there. And now we're going to turn our work. So now that we have it turned, we're just going to slip stitch in here. And we're going to do it again. We're going to chain 2. And then we're going to double crochet. Now I'm going to share with you where I changed my colors. So we're going to begin to change colors. So just go ahead and do 2 more double crochets instead of your 3. So that's 1. That's 2. Now we're going to change colors on our 3rd double crochet, guys. So in order to do that, you're going to begin your 3rd double crochet. Yarning over, inserting through, yarning over again, pulling through, yarning over and drawing through 2. Now this is where you're going to cut your yarn. So go ahead and cut your yarn. Me, I'm going to break it because I don't have my scissors. And now after you do that, you're just going to add your yarn. Okay, so now you're just going to tie your yarn in. Tie your yarn in just like you would do a regular, any type of adding, or every time you add your yarn, you're doing the same exact thing. You're just going to tie it in. And I like to kind of double knot it. And then you can always worry about your ends and things later. But now you have your yarn tied in. And so what you're going to do next is just yarn over and pull through. So now you have your yarn chain. Now you have your color change. And so now you're just going to begin to slip stitch right into your next space. And then you're going to chain 2. And you're going to do your 3 double crochets just like you were doing before. Because there will be patterns where it tells you how many squares of each color. There may be one that says 2 yellow, 2 green, and you'll have to change just like so. And as you see, it looks great. It's a great transition. It didn't offer any kind of weird, weird looks or anything. So we're just going to slip stitch in that next space like we did before. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to double across and to do 3 more doubles in that same space. And this is super simple, guys. Pardon me. Okay, so now we have those 2. And then we're going to do it again. Let's go ahead and slip stitch here. Just like so. And then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And then do a total of 3 more doubles in that same space. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, guys. So that is 3. Alrighty. So now, we're going to continue with that ending, and I'm going to share with you how to change colors in the first. Okay, so let's go ahead and slip stitch just like so. We're going to just finish up the same exact way, and we're going to chain 2, we're going to do 3 doubles in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, there we go. That's what it should look like after you change your colors in the middle of your row. Again, if you had to stop, if you only needed 1, you would just tear your yarn off and you would complete that same exact stitch or that same exact way of doing so. So if you have one that says in the beginning, you're going to need to do that. You're going to need, I'm going to be right back and we'll go over how to begin a row. All right, guys, so I'm back and I had to take down my last stitch because if we're going to begin, guys, I'm sorry about that. I got a little confused. If we're going to begin our work with a different color, we're going to go ahead and work on our last one, just doing 2 double crochets, which is 1, and this is 2. And then we're going to work on our third, just like we were doing before, but we're not going to finish it. So we're going to start it and we're not going to finish it, and we're going to cut our yarn again. Okay, so let's just go ahead and cut our yarn. Sorry about that. And let's go back to our other color, or if you're changing colors or whatever it may be. So if you want to begin a color with something at the last of your stitches, you're going to add your color at that end of the last row. And then you're going to tie your yarn in just like this. Just like so. You're going to tie your yarn in. Now that you have your yarn added, you're going to yarn over and draw through. And there you go. Now it's time to begin another row. And now that you're beginning your other row, it shall be with the right color. And that's going to be with a chain of 5. You're going to start off with a chain of 5, which is 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to do your your double crochets in your 3rd chain, your 4th chain, and your 5th. 1. We have 1 double crochet. This is our 2nd double crochet. And this is our 3rd. Now we're going to always remember to turn our work. And remember, we're going to turn it to the left. And now we're just going to slip stitch in that chain 2 space right in there. Slip stitch, guys. Chain 2. Sorry about that. And now we're going to double crochet 3 of those in that same space. Okay? Right in that same space. So we've changed colors and now we're going along in that next row, and we're going to go ahead and continue on. And I'm going to share with you, I'm going to work with you until we finish up this row, and then we're going to go ahead and do part 3, which is decreasing. So let's go ahead and let's go and slip stitch right into that space like we've been doing, guys. We're just slip stitching, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to go ahead and do 3 doubles in that same space right there, in that same space, just 3 double crochets. Okay, and do the same thing in the next. Slip stitch in that space, chain 2, do 3 double crochets, 1 and 2 and 3. This is the same exact thing we're doing, guys. We're going to slip stitch here in that space, and we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do 3 doubles right there in that same space. Alrighty. And we're doing it just, this is what your work should look like, guys. It should look just like this. It depends on, like I said, if you want to create your own pattern, you know the pattern of this, you know exactly what it's going to do. It's going to increase by 1 each row, and you're just going to keep fanning out into how wide you get it. You can make coasters, you can make pillows, you can make blankets. You can do whatever you choose. And if you want to follow a pattern, you can, or if you just want to freestyle it, you're more than welcome. This is a pattern that you really can freestyle easily once you get the pattern of it. especially once you begin to decrease. Increasing is easier, but decreasing is not really hard. You just kind of have to go over it a little bit. And once you get it down pat, you'll have it. So let's go ahead and let's end this row. I'm going to finish up this row so that way I can get you guys to part 3, which is going to be decreasing. Alrighty guys, so we're approaching our last row, or our last stitch, and we're going to slip stitch right in that chain 2, space, chaining 2, 1 and 2, and then we're going to go ahead and do our 3 double crochets, just like so. And I have something in there. Alrighty guys, so this is what it looks like. This is what your work should look like, guys. We changed colors in the middle of the row to have a little fun, and then we changed colors in the beginning of the row just to play around with it. This is not really a design, but this is just something to show you how to change colors. So again, thank you for watching this video. Hope your work looks like this. If not, please go back and watch that first video. Come back to this one and slow it down if you have to. I appreciate you for watching. Come back for